Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Batman Superman World's Finest number 23. We have this Kingdom Come story continuing. Let's take a look at the creative team before we get into this book. This book is written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora, Tamra, Bonvillain, and colors letters by Steve Wan. So here we are. We are almost at the end of this arc. This is the Rise of MAGOG. Now, if you haven't read Kingdom Come and you've been reading this story, I would highly recommend you go check out that story so you can understand the relationships between the characters in this universe, and you can see the transformation from David from when we met him in this series as he's evolved all the way to what he will eventually become in the Kingdom Come story. But let me give you a quick synopsis for this issue. Superman and Batman must stop Boy Thunder from becoming MAGOG. The walls are closing in, and the world's finest duo, as Boy Thunder falls fully under the thrall of Gog in the universe of Kingdom Come. Superman and Batman race against the clock not only to keep Boy Thunder from becoming MAGOG, but to save the multiverse itself. Um, as I have mentioned in previous reviews, uh, Mark Waid is just so good at building and retelling and repurposing all these stories. He loves to do a deep dive on a lot of the things that either have come before him, things that he's worked on before. So this all just for me as a DC fan, longtime DC fan, fan of Mark Waid, fan of his previous work. This just really works. I'd be curious to know what somebody going into this book without all the previous knowledge, like what that feels, what that kind of impression is there. So if you haven't read any of that old stuff, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, this book just continues to be really fast paced, just going all out there for adventure. The character of David, aka Boy Thunder, aka MAGOG, like has really been evolving throughout this series, and I feel like we're getting to a point where everything is falling into place. This is one of the most action-packed issues. This is one of the most surprising issues. The last page reveal of this, if you hadn't been really, if you didn't think this is where we were gonna go, I feel like the clues were kind of there, but I completely understand. It was a very nice surprise to have that confirmation, and of course, all this, all this great storytelling. It is presented by some of the coolest art. Dan Mora is just firing on all cylinders here, like just on a completely different level. His work's been elevated so much. So let's take a look at some of that preview art now. And as you can see here, we see Gog. It's interesting as well to explore the motivations of Gog, and to really understand him as a character, as an antagonist, and as a villain. Um, I think Dan Mora really has a fun design that is expected from what we know about MAGOG, but also it's different enough. Really cool to see the little shout out to Morrison's, multiversity wheel, and of course, really cool to see multiple Batman and Superman with little hints of, Superman's got the gray temples, Batman's got the more updated armor because these are older versions of our heroes. Whereas the Superman and Batman that we've been following around, of course, they're way younger. So this is just really fun. I love that they have a plan. I love that they have an attack. This just all this works for me very much so. This is probably one of my first reads whenever I get the reviews. Uh, this week we had a little snafu with getting into the reviews, but also this week, this book has one of my favorite pairings in comic books, and that is Mark Waid and Dan Mora. So really enjoying this. I can't wait to read the next issue, which should be the conclusion of this arc, at least for now. So I want to see where this goes. Never that I think that this series would go on as long as it has, but I feel like Mark Waid has found a really fun corner of the DC multiverse to kind of claim, and I hope that we stay here for as long as he's willing to tell us stories. So If you have read this, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, there's some really cool variants at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. And of course, stay tuned to the channel. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.